Hello.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi. How are you mentally preparing to get into this darkness of playing in a role where a cult is always darkness, regardless of the environment.
Definitely. I think you should start with that, really, just because you carry so much of the weight of this.
Yeah, look, I play Freya Hayward, and she is traumatized by her past. So a lot of the series, I was just having to navigate a lot of really dark themes. And uh, I have four kids at my house. So for me, it was about coming to work and really sort of blocking out the outside world and diving into this dark thematic vibe. And it was really challenging because when you're so far in it, to be able to put a boundary in place at the end of the day to go home and just show up and be mum with the kids, like that was the most challenging aspect of this for me. But I know we both did research. I read a lot of articles. I watched some documentaries about various different cults globally, and really try to transport myself into that world. But it was pretty harrowing.
Yeah, I have to say you're an amazing multitasker. You wouldn't know, like she was carrying the weight of all this trauma, and yet like her kids had bounced into set and she was so happy and light. Like I can't think of a better person to have played this role because she was so fun and light and effervescent on set, and then turn the camera on and she's like deep, dark in distress.
Oh my gosh. Some days I was like, children cannot be here today. This is too dark.
Yeah. But yeah, likewise, I'm very fascinated by cults. So I've watched a lot about cults over the years. And indeed, my auntie was in the Rajneesh cult when I was a kid. So I've got some kind of experience of these things. And yeah, I'm absolutely fascinated. I always, have been interested to know a lot about these things.
And usually we see adults getting into cults, but not kids so much. And one of the things that for your character as Adrian, like Amy says, kind and cruel at the same time, like that can be, portrayed. And I mean, you're quite a key, an example of it.
Yeah, that's the push-pull of it, definitely. I mean, I think the reason that people end up in cults is often like people go in with very good intentions. It's just like an amazing group of people, and you're trying to find your true self and you find a community. So there's a lot of what begins as very good can go very bad. And I think, playing the cult leader in this, Adrienne, it was really interesting to play, to see how you see people, how you make people feel really special, how you make a really strong connection with people, and gradually make them lose themselves to you, like give over all their sense of self to your wishes.
Now I got a chance to watch 3 episodes. I'm hooked.
Oh wow, that's more than us.
Yes, we haven't seen the third.
I'm getting a sense of so much mystery, first of all, for both characters, obviously, but a sense of, and sorry if I'm saying too much, but like a double life. So what can you share about your character that we'll be seeing?
Oh, it's such a tricky thing talking about this production because there are so many reveals throughout the 8 episodes that, you don't want to give too much away, but you definitely do get to see some of the origins of this cult at a certain point, and you start to see how more people are interconnected than you realized at first.
Yeah, and I think one of my favorite parts of this whole show is the dynamic between our characters. It's very complicated. And
yes.
You can definitely feel some like deep-seated love, and but that's very complicated because it also coexists with so much trauma and a lot of darkness and manipulation. So It's really fascinating, the little dance between the two of us.
Yeah.
I love watching it on screen.
So after I would watch one episode of the three, I was like, okay, I'm figuring it out. But no, it throws the viewer off. Like, what? It's not what I anticipated.
I
So
know.
we know this is based on a novel, and I'm curious to know how you made the character your own for the screen.
I very much did not go to the novel for that reason. The script is so intricate and complicated, the way the story is layered in the way that it's told, that I actually felt at the time that I was coming in that if I started reading the novel and I knew some things were different to the novel, that I would get so confused about what was in and what was out and the story generally. So I steered away from that. I really a lot of it was, for me, was basically from the script and research into lots of cults, and then imagination and actually just seeing what works on the day with people. What, it was an interesting experiment to me, because at first I thought that my character's motivation was strictly power, but I found power to be quite shallow to work with. It wasn't, as juicy as I thought it would be. And in the end, it felt like it was more about experiencing emotion through other people, like being at the forefront of their sort of emotional trauma or journey or ecstasy in that moment, and somehow feeding off that.
Yeah. Likewise, I did not read the book, and reason being, I didn't want to be swayed in any way by the Freya in the book versus the Freya that was for the adaptation. So it was so rich. The characters were so rich on the page in the script that I decided to take what was there. And then every time you play a character, parts of yourself end up coming and imprinting on the character. So I definitely drew on aspects of my own experience, especially as a mother, but also, like Miranda said, we were really gifted by the pool of high quality Australian talent in this show. That we'd be in a scene with an actor and it would just become this dance. So they would give you something and then you would give them something back. And maybe it wasn't exactly what was on the page or the intention for the scene. It would sort of go somewhere else. But I felt like that was really where the magic was in those moments. So that was really interesting. And then just to see it all cut together at the end, and to see what was chosen in the cut, because you never know which path the director is going to choose. I just feel like it hit the tone so beautifully, and it was just a really creatively stimulating experience.
Well, thank you both for your time. I will have to wait for the rest of the 5 episodes.
Us too.
Well, thank you again, and congratulations in the clear.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Like your cat, by the way.
I know, it was
reminds
so
me of
cute.
me at home. Like the cat's always walking past the computer.
God, how cute.
I know. Thank you so much.